What if I told you that half the mallards we're shooting in South Carolina ain't truly wild? What if I told you that for a century we've been stocking ponds with game farm ducks the way folks stock catfish? And what if those tame birds are quietly changing the very mallards that define waterfowling in America? On August 21st, 2025, Dr. Rick Kaminski, a respected waterfowl biologist, published a letter to the editor in the Coastal Observer in Pawleys Island, South Carolina. In that letter, he raised serious concerns about the biological validity and even the legality of releasing domestically raised game farm mallards into the wetlands where wild ducks are hunted. His words struck a chord with me because they lined up perfectly with what the science has been revealing. For over 100 years, millions of game farm mallards, birds raised in captivity, have been released across the Atlantic Flyway. In South Carolina alone, tens of thousands are dumped out every year just so folks can shoot more ducks. But here's the rub. Game farm mallards aren't the same as true wild mallards. They differ in body, behavior, and reproduction. And when they breed with wild mallards, we get hybrids, what some call mutt mallards. Meanwhile, the eastern wild mallard population has dropped 20% in just 2 decades. Dr. Phil Lavretsky from the University of Texas, El Paso, has published widely on this issue. He's found that over 90% of the mallards tested in the Atlantic Flyway carry domestic game farm genes. Genes from old world Eurasian stock mixed with American farm-raised birds. To put it in plain talk, releasing these ducks is like turning loose Siberian huskies in wolf country. Sure, they're related, but it doesn't take long before the bloodlines get muddy. Last season, South Carolina biologists, waterfowlers, and Dr. Lavretsky teamed up for something no other state has done. They collected tongue samples from hunter-harvested mallards, mottle ducks, and black ducks from all across the Palmetto State. Hunters stepped up big time. Over 600 samples were collected, and about 90% were good for DNA testing. The results? Mottle ducks and black ducks over 90% pure, which is great news. Mallards, about 50%, carried significant game farm genetics. In the Georgetown area, well, that's a hot spot where farm genes are showing up heavily. Now the next step is GPS telemetry. After the hunting season, researchers will capture hens, take blood samples for DNA, and track their movements. Do farm ducks and hybrids migrate, survive, and breed like true wild mallards, or not? If they don't, that could explain the mallard decline in the East. Beyond genetics, there's also legal questions. When you release game farm mallards on huntable wetlands, are they functioning as live decoys? That practice has been outlawed for over a century. If the answer is yes, then the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service may have to act. Are we preserving wild mallards for the future, or are we raising tame ducks for today's trigger pull? If the science proves that game farm mallards hurt the wild flock, then maybe it's time to cease the release. Thanks for watching, and we'll see y'all next time on Daddy Duck 365.